Hi, g'day guys. My name is Paul from Plus Wheels. This video today is all about the significance of our new products that we've just developed and a little bit of technical information and why the motto "as good as it gets" has become a real part of Plus Wheels. This year we have brought out three significant wheels. The first was the GSLR, which is a 47 by 41 millimeter gravel wheel, 1400 grams, really aerodynamic, really beefy. The only competition we have on that gravel wheel would be an American company who is very well known. The gravel wheel is just aerodynamic, fast, comfortable, and in our sort of price model, there is nothing like it. So that was the first as good as it gets. The second as good as it gets is our Plus CSL, which is a carbon spoke wheel set. A little bit of information behind that wheel set is we took our RSL, which is a 5-year race proven, prestigious race winning wheel set, and to this date our #1 selling wheel set, and we because of our competitors, we wanted to go on the current or the older designs that people had brought out, which were where the spokes would clip into a half-flange hub and would generally be 5 millimeters wide, which is probably the most unaerodynamic spoke in the whole world. And we wanted to build something that was special and that we could really stand out from the crowd. So we built the CSL from the ground up with 3 different individuals, an engineer, an aerodynamicist, and myself. We started with a hoop, which I'm going to incorporate a bit of technical information in this video so that people can understand. As good as it gets is based on raw materials as well as production, and basically as good as it gets in terms of we don't spare a cent when it comes to producing a product. So there's 3 different kinds of carbon weaves, and I'm going to just shoot through it quickly. There's the Italian, German, and then Japanese. You get different types of carbon obviously in terms of weave, and then you get different types of carbon in terms of string quantity per square centimeter, let's say. So Aero 1000 is a really tightly knitted carbon fiber, generally very expensive and not previously used on wheels because of the cost. So we developed our wheel with the mindset of producing the lightest, strongest, stiffest, and stable, safe carbon wheel set. So we took our hoop and we modified the RSL. We made it 32 millimeters, which is a 2 millimeter wide wheel set with a 23 millimeter internal width. We looked at the toroidal U, which is the shape which most people would call a U, and we wanted to see how we could make that more aerodynamic. What we managed to do through CFD was get the tip or the area where the spokes will enter into the hoop slightly leaner, which gave us an aerodynamic advantage over our previous wheel set. We used 20 carbon spokes, which have been in development for about a year. Very different to any other carbon spoke on the market. Although now, in the last four months, and now currently I see everyone's, following suit. But point being is I would understand why, because previously, and I've seen many pictures where other brands would use the previously outdated carbon spoke where it would clip into the hub And you know, God forbid, or you know, someone like for example, a rear derailleur went into a set of wheels and broke 2 or 3 spokes, but the whole integrity of the wheel collapsed. The other one's unclipped. Now, if there was a front wheel, you'd be in hospital with a serious problem. So we didn't want to go down that road. So our first, protocol was to build a carbon spoke wheel set with hubs, where the spokes could go through the hubs, as in every other wheel in the history almost of all wheel sets, which is proven. And that's what we managed to do. We partnered with a company, and they made us some hubs. Very light, 260 grams. We decided to go ratchet because there is a slight improvement in engagement, but very slight. And so we took out our Touray 1000, Touray 800, and every carbon fiber is pre-pregged in the bicycle wheel manufacturing business. Epoxy resins are really an important part. They're all they're all obviously there are different quality ratings, but every single carbon fiber wheel that's molded goes into an autoclave, and it's baked at 180 up to 240 degrees, depending if it's a rim brake and it needs a special surface on the braking area. But we basically built a very stiff, very light hoop. In actual fact, the hoop's weight is 370 grams and is very stiff. The spokes, I think I've mentioned. The hubs, for the record, there's only 2 alloys that are used, and that's in chain rings and pretty much anything on a bicycle. There's a 7075 T6 and a 6061. Those are a T6. Those are the only 2 alloys that are strong enough to be able to withstand the harsh conditions that a bicycle gets put through. Our hubs are made with a 5-axis CNC and are precise. The bearings that we use, we've now gone to a couple of options. Initially we used NSK Pink Seal, and that was the only bearing available. We now have Enduro bearings available, and then our ceramic option, which not just ultimately for speed. Yeah, there is about a 2% performance upgrade, but the smoothness and, if serviced correctly, the longevity. So SEMA bearings is what we're using. They're their only company. There's 2 companies that manufacture a G5 round ball. That's the grading, or can only get their hands on it, and that's SEMA and Ceramic Speed. So we're dealing with top-end ceramic bearings. They've just come out with a new coating called an SG3. Really expensive stuff, but at the end of the day, if you want to care about marginal gains, or if you want to build high quality products, you can't expect the expense of a bearing. I mean, that's like a super important part of the bike. So on the CSL, 1150 grams. We've had it tested now against our RSL, and the results between the RSL and the CSL was significant. We improved the performance by 7%. And the way we did that was we went to Hector Norris Park, and we rode around the track at a 200 watt for 30 minutes. We monitored heart rate, we monitored TSS scores, we monitored cadence, and a couple of other metrics, and also the tire pressures. We've partnered with Challenge tires, because they are the distributor for SEMA bearings as well, but they are handmade, and the tires, if you look on the internet, have got a really low rolling resistance, and we wanted to make sure that we were in a position to be able to test all these factors, because there's always speculation as to what rolls well, what doesn't, is wider better, what about the pressures. So we got a 1% improvement by running at 4.5 bars as opposed to 6 bars. So we got a 7% improvement from our previous model. Which that we've brought out is the Plus AXL, which I was from April really excited to get involved in the development of, because it's more just based on aerodynamics than weight and anything else. So what we did was we developed with, again, the same 3 people, except for a statistician who was involved. We developed a wheel setup, which is on the front wheel is 33.8 millimeters wide, 24 millimeters internal width, and a 50 millimeter deep profile on the front, the toroidal U. Okay, it's available in a 20 carbon spoke or a 24 hole SAPAM CX ray. We decided it's best to offer both. On the rear, we've gone for a 60 millimeter deep, more of a, we would say, a traditional aero rim, which is the old outdated V shape, except we've modified ours and made it as a bit of a lesser of a V. We've that is 31 millimeters and it's 24 millimeters internal. It's again obviously offered in the 20 carbon 24 CX rays. The big thing that we wanted to do was look at the front end of the bike and how toroidal U, or the U-shaped rim, has basically changed everything regarding, crosswinds, torque steer, and just general good cornering. And yeah, for sure, 100%. The U-shaped front, toroidal front, is 100% the best thing that's happened for carbon fiber bicycle wheels. The 33.8 was mainly due to the fact that stability, and we wanted to run ride a wider front tire, because we wanted to statistics were showing the wider and at the right pressure, we would get everything that we wanted. So that is what we did. Moving to the rear of the bike, the 60 millimeter 31 Aero, the big gains was the sail effect, the stiffness of the walls of the rim, but mainly due to the fact that they were straight, so they were built up. And we ran a 28 millimeter tire on the rear, which is basically what the statistician had given us. When it came to the ideology of testing it in a wind tunnel, we did a lot of CFD work on it. And a wind tunnel, in my opinion, and others, is that any wheel in a wind tunnel is not really a true reflection of the performance of it. Why? Because the wheel is tested at a 0 yaw angle with a headwind and it's at 40 kilometers an hour. Road conditions aren't that. So we did a lot of simulations and at 5, 10, 15, 20% yaw. The most preferential or the most beneficial situation we got was between 10 and 15% yaw angle, which is like a crosswind angle. We got 5 watts. Okay, which is significant, simply just by building the configuration from the front, which is the torque steer, to the sail effect on the rear. Okay, and at a 10 to 15 degree yaw angle. These figures, we did the testing at Hector Norris Park the other day, and the figures are in line with what we worked out prior to building molds and also manufacturing. So that goes back to, again, as good as it gets. But I go one step further now. The next remark is how much more to go, how much faster. I think because of the fact that Plus doesn't spare a cent to make sure, from our tubeless tape to our tubeless valves to the hubs, to the quality of the carbon, to the spokes. Everything that we use is of the highest grade as much as any of the other biggest well-marketed brands in the world. Okay? So the BS marketing is what you're not paying for. But what you are paying for when you buy a Plus wheel is 100% significant detail to attention to detail. You're paying for the quality of the materials used. And my question would be, and I'm humble enough and very confident about our product, but I would like to, have someone come and, prove to us that, a wheel that's, 80,000 Rand is going to go faster than us, because I tend to doubt the gains would be significant, if anything. Because obviously, as a wheel manufacturer, we do look at other brands and we analyze their information. And at the end of the day, there's only so many materials available on the market, and there's only so many alloys, and there's only so many different variations in the way you can lay up carbon, and we're doing it all right. So basically, how much more to go, how much faster? Plus Wheels' original ethos was, we wanted to launch an affordable wheel that was available to everybody, and that's how we've kept it. We've sold 340 wheels. We've had 3 X-year rims returned for warranty claims, of which one I didn't have to warranty. In terms of the future, we are going to start focusing more and more on trying to build new customers into the market, because it seems that there is a negativity and saying, oh, but cycling this, that, whatever. That's not the truth. I think people have been scared out of the sport, and they can't afford the top end sort of well marketed brands, and thus this is for newbies. They think, well, the lesser priced items are not on the same level. Obviously, we do not agree with that. So the last statement I'm going to make is, when are you going to buy a set of Plus wheels? We are now in a situation where we're offering demos, where you can come in to bring your bike and give us a day's notice. We'll put on a set of tires, we'll put on a cassettes, and you can go and take a ride on any of our wheel sets that we offer, and you can come back and tell us, yeah, we don't like it, we like it, we'd like to buy it. So I would like to just end this video with saying, when are you going to buy your set of Plus wheels, and when are you going to come and visit us? We are currently running a huge launch special on our Plus AXL and our Plus CXL models for 16,999, which is an unbelievably affordable price. And I would encourage people to at least look at our website and see the detail, and then if they need, phone our customers, get hold of our customers, phone them, because every single customer, we are still having them as customers, many repeats. And I just thank you for your time, and take this opportunity to buy a set of Plus AXL or CSL wheels. They are fast, stable, and unbelievably strong and stiff. Thank you.